Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at ETH. Before we jump to that, I'd just like to say thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you get kept up to date and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So we're talking about a few options yesterday, and the video yesterday went really into depth of sort of a couple of the options that we were looking at within here and what could be happening. Primarily, I am still looking to see whether we get an additional wave up here for fifth wave, potentially looking to actually move us into this zone of this 1831 to this 1916 range, and then looking to see if we do actually look to break down from there. There is a couple of ways of looking at this current structure, so we need to be aware that it is very choppy in this top end here, so it could be doing a few things. So we need to be aware that there is still that potential for this to play out as a flat where we're looking for this as an A, a B, and potentially looking for a C wave to the downside. And really, if we're talking about this option, for as long as we actually stay below this 1811 range, I would be cautious that this could actually look to start to break down, where we could look for the potential that we could start to form this as a 1, potentially a 2, and then we look for that bigger breakdown for a C wave. Um, for a C wave or a wave 3. So we're going to need to keep an eye on this. Really, if we want to look for continuation of bullishness, we need to get back above this high point of this 1841. But really, we are sort of maintaining some key zones of support here. So this could actually look to push up for that fifth wave, even from this current position. We could argue that, within here, we could start to see this play out as a 1, 2, another 1, 2, and then this starts to get some legs to it, and then we actually look to move up above this B wave here. So that is what I'm sort of primarily looking out for. I want to see how we react here. Obviously, we are coming up into the zone of these previous swing highs here, and that also ties in with the 0.618 retracement. So, potentially if this does just move up into this zone, we could actually look for that continuation down. So the way that I'm looking at it currently is if we're looking at this move in isolation. So this could either be we did talk about it yesterday. We know this could be a 1 and a 2 and another 1 and a 2, and then we look to progress, or alternatively, this could be a 1 and then basically this becomes an A, B, and a C, and we're still forming the wave 2. Alternatively, the wave 1 is still in play up here. So, there are a few ways we can look at this. Technically speaking, we could also look at it as a corrective move to the upside, not that one. Something like this, where this whole move could just become a B wave to the upside here. And we actually look to break down. The alternative is also looking at this move in isolation as a 5-wave move to complete the 5th wave. So, there's a few things that we talked about yesterday, that, this move could technically end a bigger sequence here. And that would be looking at this as basically this count, where we're actually looking to complete somewhere in this zone of this 1829 to this 1912 region. So if we do push up here, potentially we could look to move up towards this 0.618, like we said yesterday, towards this 1895. But for the most part, we could actually be completed here. We already crossed that wave 3 high, and we can potentially count a 5-wave move in here. I've counted this slightly different within this one, looking for this potential for an additional 4th and a 5th. For as long as we hold this 1739, there is always that possibility that we could look to push up one more time here. But if we start to lose this, it starts to become less likely, and then we'd have to start looking at the possibility that either we have completed into this high here, or alternatively, this could be coming another structure here where we form another 1, 2. So we're going to go over that now. But basically, within this structure, we can argue a lot of things here. This could be an A, B, potentially a C wave. This could be our D wave, form an E wave, and then we actually look to break to the upside. So keep an eye on this bottom trend line here. This could actually indicate where that we could see a possible retest down here in a 3-wave structure. If that's the case, we could then look for that potential that we formed a triangle in here. There is a few ways of looking at this. We need to just be careful because potentially we can also count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. This becomes an A. Potentially this would be a W, X, and potentially a Y wave up here, and then we could actually look to break down deeper. So really, if we do lose the 1739, we're going to be looking out for potentially some of these lower support ranges that we will be talking about here now. So we were talking about this alternative count here where we're looking for a series of additional waves here, but the way we've come down here is quite big in comparison to this wave. So I'm not really looking at this potential anymore. That I think it is much rather the idea that, if we are going to push up one more time, the fourth wave is like this, and actually this is going to become a triangle in here as an A, B, C, D, E, and then potentially we're actually looking to break out already. We can argue that within here, this could be an A wave, B wave, C wave, D wave, E wave, and now we're starting to push up. So the key thing here is going to be taking this high and taking some of these key zones over here. This 1802 would invalidate any further triangle potential here, because we could also see this as an A wave here. We form an A, B, C, D, E, and then we break down. So we need to just watch how this reacts within this zone. This could just form a three-wave move up here, and then we look to break down again. So it's going to be a little bit of patience required here. I wouldn't personally, because just because of it's not very clear, and the setup isn't great here, in my opinion. If we start to break down through some of these levels, then potentially, we could be looking at some of those targets. But yeah, really, if we fail to actually get back above this 1800 area and then finally fail to actually move back above this 1841, this 1811 is going to be a key zone. If we do move up here and we can't actually manage to get back above this, it would indicate weakness to me, and then I'd be looking for that continuation to the downside. Though for as long as we're still in this area, we can look for that potential that we could be starting to extend to the upside. So this is still the zone I'm looking for, this 1885 to this 1851. Basically, that would then look to actually bring us up towards this zone here. If this does extend out, potentially we could be looking to move up towards this 1912 area. This 0.618 of that wave 1 to 3 is actually up here at this 1895. So, there's a few little areas within here that have a little bit of confluence. So keep an eye on this little area, if we do move up here. But technically, we could have actually completed already, or this could in fact even be a corrective structure in already looking to actually start that C wave to the downside. So the alternative thing I wanted to talk about is that possibility. We were saying that we could have a 1-2 and potentially a 1-2. So the idea here would be that, if we do actually break down but fail to break down below the 1611 area, and we just form a three-wave move down like this, where this becomes an A, B, and a C wave to the downside, this could then set us up for that possibility to start to form impulsive structure again to the upside here, where we could look at this basically becoming a bigger five-wave move again, where this becomes a 1-2, looks to push up towards this 2089 range for that third wave, looking for a fourth and a fifth. So this is possible for as long as we hold the 1611 zone. We can always see extension within this, even within these internal waves. There could be extension going on that just isn't clear yet. We could have something like this as a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then it'll start to move to the upside. But if that's the case, basically what we'd want to see is, we'd want to see these lows hold of these swing lows, and we'd want to actually start to see this moving away now. The longer that we sort of stay moving sideways here, the more likely it is that, potentially this could actually start to break down and validate this possibility of having these bigger moves to the upsides, particularly this fourth wave, looking at this in this sense. If we were looking at this as a fourth wave, I'd really want to see this move up now. I wouldn't want to see this set another low. If we do, that would basically throw this idea out the window, because it would become way too big then at that point. So yeah, if we do start to push up, potentially we've got a 1-2 here, another 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, which could bring us up into this zone. So you're gonna have to just give it a bit of space and see what happens. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking for at the moment. We need to watch how these key zones hold. For as long as we hold above this low here at this 1611 range, potentially we could look for that possibility for continuation here, where this could be then a 1-2, and then we look to push up. Or alternatively, we're still within this fifth wave. But if we do start to break down deeper here, what I would be looking for would be that possibility of actually coming back down here. First areas to watch would be towards the 1722 to the 1658, and that's if we form something like this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potentially something like that. We could actually then look to say that could be a C wave. However, given the current structure here, if we do break down in a 5-wave move, it's more likely that we're going to actually look to push down towards these lower levels, potentially retest this A wave zone, and potentially come down into this 1560 to the 1620 range. That would be the first area I'd be watching within this, looking at that possibility of a flat here. And then if we do look to break down, we would need to hold above this 1456 range. Failing to hold this zone makes it very unlikely that we're going to see continuation to the upside here, and probably would then indicate that, rather than this count, we are looking at that possibility of the alternative count, where actually we've completed a fifth wave in here, and we still have that 3-wave move to come to the downside, looking to actually retest this lower range here of this 1414 to this 1208. So this is going to be the key thing, is what sort of happens within these ranges. If we start to break down here, we lose those key supports. Primarily, we want to see if we can manage to hold above this fourth. If we fail that, I would be looking potentially at this retest of this trend line here, of this channel again, potentially looking to retest that. That fails to hold, and that 786 lower down fails to hold, then potentially, we are looking for that possibility of either starting a bigger trend to the downside here, or alternatively, we are still within that potential B wave, where this becomes an a B, and then we're looking for a C. Or alternatively, like I said, if this is a 5-wave move here, we could also see this play out as that B wave. Or alternatively, if this does start to extend to the downside, we have to be careful of losing this low. Once we start to lose this 1208, it becomes more likely that we're actually going to be having another low here, where this whole move here would become potentially a fourth wave. And we could actually still see these lower lows towards the 1723 to this 523 range. So it sort of hinges on how we hold these pivot point areas. We could, as long as we hold them, potentially we can look for this to continue its move to the upside. But if we start to lose some of these key zones, it becomes less likely that we're going to see that continuation. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join, as well as that you'll find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.